jump.
Hey guys, do you remember the junior mental flop and the regular mental flop? Well, I want to show you a new puzzle today that I made. It's a mod, and it is the professor mental flop. So you know that I presented this last week, the junior mental flop, which is a 1x2x3 lookalike on these four faces, but it turns in unexpected ways because it's actually a 2x2 modification. Now, and I also had the 2x2x3 modification, which is the equivalent, but it looks like a floppy cube on those sides. Now, I wanted to make a hand mod of something similar. Now, this is a 2x2x3 for a 3x3 grid, and I wanted a 5x5 grid. So what I bought was a 3x3x5, and I made this. Now, this is the regular, faces of a 3x3x5, so it's 3 here, and 5 layers here. Now, why isn't it proportional? Now, on a 2-layered puzzle, and by 2-layered I mean 2-layered on that side, for example, you can actually extend as much as you want and adjust the height. Because, for example, this one, it's a 2x2x2, so I can have this and this adjusted in order to make 3 layers like that. But on this layer, it's just cut in the middle, so I can just extend those pieces to make it square. So that's easy. On this puzzle, same thing. So 2x2, I have these 3 layers, and then I just have 3 layers, which I can extend as much as I want, because I can just do 180-degree turns. I can't even do 90-degree turns. So it doesn't matter if these aren't proportioned the same way as those layers. Now, let me explain. On the 3x5x5, this height needs to be the same as this width. So when you have this width, it implies, since you're cutting it that way along this face here, it implies that you need this width. It's automatically generated. This is how wide the piece is going to be. But since this piece is this wide, and you want it to shapeshift, then this layer needs to be the same width as this one. And since you're cutting it like that, obviously this width isn't going to be the same, but this one stays the same as this one. So unfortunately, you can't get it to be proportional. So that was the why. Now, before I show you the turning, I just want to explain something. This is made out of a 3x3x5, the mass-produced one, and most of you know that the outer layers are a bit, squishy. So unfortunately, when you make a mod, it's only as good as the puzzle you make it from. So I couldn't make a high-quality puzzle, not that high. So it's still good, but I couldn't make it any better. So let me show you how it spins. So you have those 5 layers here. So this whole thing here that moves. It's a bit stiff, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually forgot to lube it before this video, so it's going to be a bit stiff considering this is just freshly painted. Oh, some paint actually sticked. Anyways, so yeah, it still spins quite well. And, okay, you know what? I might as well make a checkerboard pattern. So this looks like kind of a, a 5x5x1. So same thing, it's supposed to be Professor Flop, like a Professor Floppy Cube, and this is just a mental flop. So it looks like a 5x5x1 when you look at the 4 faces, just like these two, which are confusing. And on the sides, it looks like a 3x3. So let's do a checkerboard pattern, see how it looks. I honestly think it's going to look really cool. Alright, so this is what it looks like. This is your classic checkerboard pattern. Now, there's a fun story behind this puzzle that you guys are all gonna like. It's actually pretty crazy. When I made this, I didn't want to waste epoxy. I didn't want to waste milliput, the thing I fill the pieces with in order for them to be sturdy. I usually fill the pieces, and since I use epoxy and it costs a lot, I wanted to save up on that. So I had to fill the pieces with something else before adding the epoxy. I actually took the first thing that was on hand, so you're probably going to criticize me because I'm wasting food, but the closest thing that I found was outdated instant noodles. So basically, I filled the pieces with instant noodles, as you can see here, and then with epoxy. So you can see Millie put the instant noodles in there. I don't know if it's focusing correctly. I don't think so. But yeah. So basically, this puzzle is made out of noodles, it's really the first time I've made something like that. I have to be honest. I figured, I shouldn't waste food, but since they were outdated, I wasn't really planning on eating them. Anyways, so yeah, this puzzle is made out of food. So as you can see, I didn't make such a great job filling the pieces because some of the noodles got loose from the epoxy, so they're just moving around. Anyways, let's go back to serious things now, and I'm gonna show you what happens when you sort of scramble it. I'm not gonna scramble it because I'm too scared to see what it looks like when it's scrambled, and I don't think I have the time to solve it at the moment. So yeah, let's see. You can do quarter turns as well since it's a 3x3 mod. And whoa. Oh wow, I'm gonna stop here. This is getting really crazy. So this is what the puzzle looks like when you just start scrambling it. So that was one move. So let's see. One move. What have I done? One move. I believe that was the second move, somewhere around here. No, that was not the second move. Seriously? I already scrambled it? Alright. Two moves. Got it. Now, the third move right here. Sorry, it's catching a bit. Alright. And a fourth move right here. So 4 moves. That's how it looked like after 4 moves. So yeah, this is an insane puzzle. And I am glad I made it. Even though the base puzzle quality is pretty bad, I think the overall result is definitely worth it. Although there are some negative aspects. As you can see, this piece is extremely loose. I'm gonna have to show you why, because this is actually quite interesting. Let's see if I can get that to pop. Alright, this piece is actually quite big, and it holds on to this little tiny stem of plastic right there. So to be honest, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is never gonna hold, this is gonna break. But it's actually quite sturdy. But then again, the stalk, the plastic stalk is so thin that obviously the piece can move around a bit. So, due to flexibility and everything. So yeah, this is the negative aspect of this puzzle. But overall, it's a fun mod, and it looks really cool when it's scrambled. So that's nice, and I'm definitely glad I made it. Still trying to assemble that last part because this is a piece that I'm afraid to assemble because usually I just apply pressure like this, like a 3x3, but here there's this thin part that I don't want to break, so I'm going to do it the other way. Alright, so yeah, a pretty fun puzzle, and definitely a pretty cool shapeshifter. Alright guys, I hope you liked this mod, and I hope you like instant noodles. If you do, feel free to subscribe to my channel to see the next videos, and like my Facebook page and everything. See you next time.